This lesson, I'm going to show you how to create an HTML template, and we're going to get into the basics of what HTML is. So first of all, we actually need to create a file in order to write our content into. So I'm on a Windows machine. This is where I'm going to be creating my index page, my index.html page. So we need to create that initial file that's going to hold our HTML content so that we can go to that file via the browser, render it out, and actually see our HTML content visible within our page. So you probably already have the tools within your computer in order to create a file. If you don't, then you can go ahead and use brackets, and simply all we need to do to start out is create a brand new file. So I'm just going to create a brand new file, and now I'm going to save this file. So this is a completely blank file. And I'm opening it up, so make sure that you've got that correct path there that you're saving it to. So I'm saving it, and a good practice to get into is to always start out, and your initial page where you want your website to launch out of should be called index.html. So especially if you're doing an HTML page, this is where the server will understand that this is the root page, and if there's no other page specified, then by default it will render that out. So that's for when the server is running and it's looking for a starting point for your domain. It's going to look at those index files in order to start out, find a starting point for your file. So now that we've created that, we can go and we can access it within our browser. And as we see, not much happening as of yet because we don't have any HTML code yet within our page. So as I did say, there are different ways that you can work with your code. So we can go ahead and we can open up our editor. We can type content into the editor. So I can start typing in some content in here, save it. I can go out here, refresh it, and I can see my HTML code getting output within the page. And you're probably saying, well, wait a minute, this isn't HTML code because all you've done is created a file, called it index.html, given an extension of HTML, and just typed hello world. So this is true because the way that the browser actually works is that when it sees this extension HTML, then it knows that it should try to render this out as HTML code. And if there's no HTML wrapping that code, then it just reads it as regular text that you want to output within your web page. And that's why we're able to see hello world as I've typed it in. So one of the things that I want to show you as well is how you can actually update your code right within your browser, save that file so that you've got that ability to see what's being displayed. So kind of like what we saw at CodePen, where we can see and we can make some updates and then we can just refresh it. So we don't have to always flip back and forth between our browser and our editor. So go ahead and open that file up that you've created, index.html, so it can be completely blank. Open it up in your browser, and hopefully you've got Chrome installed on your system, and if you don't, then Chrome is a really good browser in order to install because it gives you a lot of flexibility. So let's go ahead and open that file up in Chrome, and within Chrome we've got what's called our DevTools, and you can open this up. Again, I'm on a Windows machine, so I'm Control-Shift-I, but you can also open that up within Macs. You can go into the settings here, and you can go under More Tools, and you've got Developer Tools as well. So a number of different ways to access that same console, and when you click that Developer Tools, you're going to see that you've got this developer dashboard that opens up, and so you've got a number of tabs here at the top. You've got elements. So basically under elements, we see all of our code. So I've just made it bigger as well in order so it's better to see it within this course. But within elements, under the elements tag, you can see that you've got all of the source code there. So it's automatically, as mentioned before, even though I don't have that in the source code, it's actually trying to add some HTML. And I'm going to be explaining this as well as we progress through the course, or we progress through the lesson. So there's a number of other really important tabs here within browser tools, and the other one that we want to look at is sources. So sources gives you a full path to where your file is located. So we see that this file is located on my K drive under the folder websites, under folder course, and it's called index.html. So it gives me the full path. And the really cool thing about Chrome is I can add a folder to my workspace. So I just right-clicked it here. So you can just click it and select Add Folder to Workspace. And once we do that, so I need to make sure that we specify that folder that I want it to add in. So let's go all the way down to the folder and just click OK. And it's going to ask you to give you access to it. So again, make sure that you don't expose any sensitive information, because now this is going to get communicated through the browser. So I'm going to go ahead and select Allow. Now I can go down to the different folders that I've added here. I can select that index file. So I can close this one down because now we can work off of this one, and I can go ahead and make an update, save it, refresh it, and I've got my update live. So we're all set up and ready to go now to start typing some HTML code. And of course, if you want to work with your editor, you can work with that as well. So it actually doesn't matter where you're placing your HTML code because it's going to be the same file. So this is just different ways that we can access the file and type in our HTML code. So in the next lesson, we're going to jump into starting our page template. So this is going to be a default template that we can use over and over again, and we can use that in order to help better structure our HTML code. So that's coming up in the next lesson.